G'day everyone, welcome along, welcome to Steel Horse Station. Hope you're having a terrific week. We are embarking on the next part of the journey. As you can see from the backdrop there, we have Farm Sim 25 up and running, and that's where we'll be playing tonight. Good to see you there, John. May also have Mark in the background, possibly either that or you're splitting yourself over two screens. Either way, whoever's there, welcome. So I, uncharacteristically for a stream, have done very little prep for this one because I thought... so I did get the game up and running yesterday, and I have sort of made a couple of choices about where to start, but I thought, given that it's new and without knowing who in the audience has actually got the big YouTubers, they've pretty much boiled the ocean on everything you need to look at. And certainly starting out, it's very, very similar with just a little bit of menu structure difference. But what we'll do is we'll start a new game. And so if you haven't seen it, this is the variant, and I quite like the extra little tweaks that they've done here. So you get to specify your starting funds if you don't want to take the default. So in this particular case, I'm suggesting let's start on farm manager. Let's not take the starting farm and equipment. Let's just take $1 million to get us going. Let's leave it on normal economic difficulty. My rationale for that is it'll help us sort of manage the pace, and particularly if contracts are in our future, it'll make it a little bit, because they've changed the contract system a little bit, and they're not quite, or they don't appear to be quite as lucrative. There's no point to sort of make it really hard and sit us behind the 8 ball in terms of having a stream moving along. And I don't think we need the guided intro either. So Riverbend Springs was the choice of those that responded to the survey. So that's where we're going. I have downloaded all of the mods off the mod hub that are available at present. Not that they mean very much to me. But there you go. So we'll start with those, and we'll jump right in. As usual, it's amazing that it relatively speaking, it's much faster than launching Vintage Oaks, but even with nothing happening, it still takes its time to set stuff up. Although interestingly, the pauses that give you a bit of a cause for concern occur in different points in the percent cycle. Righty-ho, so let's jump right in and see where it starts. Oh, I've already set up a character that's going to do me for today, I think. Now, why is my name YouTube? Goodness knows where you got that from. Change. There we go. Right. So, interestingly, it started us at the start of farm which I'm not going to worry too much about. So we're down here where the starting farm and that the numbering for the field layout goes. If you haven't seen the map, I can pretty much get it all in. So there's the mini map. Range of different field sizes, lots of spots on the fields. If we go, or maybe I should talk about menu structure. So this is the way menus work. So you've sort of got major menu or folder headings and then different tabs across each. So it's sort of a two-dimensional menu structure. So that works quite nicely. It just takes a little bit of time to figure out where, if you're familiar with the game, where the things you're looking for are or you want to find are. Otherwise, pretty much the deal is search through the topics, and you'll see it's fairly logically organized once you get the hang of it. So, you know, stuff to do with the map, stuff to do with the calendar, stuff to do with animals, stuff to do with contracts, the production chains, info, so all the prices. The one that caught me out yesterday, I was looking for it for quite a while. Actually, the ability to get a loan is hidden on this finances screen. There's no other spot to open that up in the base game at the minute. So some little things like that, just you might need a few minutes to take, and then all the settings. And the settings, by and large, are so close to identical to what they were before, just the layout's changed a little bit. So in this particular case, you can see we'll play it at 2 times, because actually 3 times will probably work well for a stream. Economic difficulty is fine. Seasonal growth on day per month. We'll leave snow there. Crop destruction will turn ploughing on. We'll turn stones on the field off. We'll leave disasters turned on for now. What else? Trailer fill limits I like. And we will turn off. Never like the idea of my workers spending my money. If they need something, they can tell me. Right. And so escape will take us back. Oh, did I need to apply that? That would be just fieldstones. No, that's all right. Okay, so settings are done. So coming back to the map, without doing a big overview, again, a couple of the big guys have done map tours. We will have a look at anything that people on the stream want to look at, of course. But I'm not proposing to, just for the sake of it, run around and look at everything. What I'm thinking, I didn't want to start in the starter farm, which is down here. I was thinking of a start from scratch style scenario, even though it's not quite that. And so what I'm thinking, if we go to farmland, is actually to start up the top here. So it's 367,000. We've got a million, but remember, we don't have any equipment or anything at the minute. So what I'm thinking is, let's grab this area up here, and then potentially we've still got enough money for a little bit of equipment and a couple of fields based on how we start. So that's what I'm thinking. And so to buy that, I go, yes. So we own that. Now, if we jump into the shop menu, no, we don't jump into the shop menu. How do I jump into the shop menu? This is going to happen frequently. I think I've got to go to the shop. Or do I? Hang on. No, just hit the correct key. That will do it. So as you can see, the shop menu's changed. Lots more categories of things. And it sort of follows the same approach to sort of drill down tables. Excellent, John. Thank you. So, you know, you've got some categories. They're fairly sensible. And it'll just take us a little while to figure out where everything is. But you'll also notice that, for instance, when you get down to root crops, that there's a rather than being one consumables category that everything's in, there are consumables that are grouped by some of the categories themselves. So that should make it a little easier to find things as we go along. I am thinking that we will kick off proceedings. Double click will take us in, and there's a bit of a fan I saw yesterday. It's a bit shiny for my liking, and that colour is puke worthy. But I kind of figured this was about my character's speed. G'day, Mark. Welcome in. I hope you are well also. If anyone's got any suggestions on stuff they want us to particularly do or look at or want to influence my choices, feel free to just shout out there. But in the absence of interaction, and we'll buy this because we need it. Right, now. I know what I didn't do. Never mind. That'll do for the minute. Now at least I've got something I can tab to. So now we're over at the shop. And if I can remember the way, the shop's here in the centre. So there's a lot of stuff here in the centre of town. As sort of Giant set a bit of the pattern, particularly with maps like Silver Run, where there's lots of the maps that you can't purchase or do anything with. Now, I'm kind of hopeful that if they release Giant's editor sometime soon, which way am I going? There's I want to go the other way. Actually, no, we will go this way. You're missing some of the... why is that happening? Okay, you are. Good call. You are missing some of the screen. That's an error on my part, which means, how do I fix that? I need to go there. It's because I suspect I'm running the screen in higher resolution. Now, what do I need to do? Scale to window. No, I didn't want to do. I can't undo that. Let's scale to window. Why is that not? Oh, is that better? No, it's not. What is going on here? Sorry, folks. Let me see here. What have I done? Settings. Streaming. That's all correct. This is what happens when I'm not as au fait with OBS as I should be. Can I cheat? G'day, Jason. Scale filtering, blending mode. Show you. Oops. Okay, I've just broken it. That's better. Right, that's better. Let's see here. Apologies, folks. I should have spotted this before I started streaming. Why is that not working? Well, if I remember, it's a matter of finding there's an option. So I know what the problem is. So the problem is I'm playing the game in 25. Oh, actually, that'll be the fastest way to fix it. Let's do it that way. Let's just. Sometimes it's good to explain to people what the problem is, because then I suddenly realize how to fix it. So save that first. Quit out of there. I know what I've done that's created the problem. So if we stop that and now start it again. So I was up until now, I've just been playing the game in full HD, and with the new game and its better support for graphics, I thought I'll up the resolution. But what I didn't do was fix the translation that OBS needs. And so, because my screen here is bigger than what I'd told OBS previously, it wasn't downscaling it properly. Now there, so if we go back to full HD, and apply. And now yes, there we go. That should give you now the whole screen. And if we start again, there we go. Now you've got the whole picture. Sorry about that, folks. Technical boo-boo on my part. I will get that sorted for next week. The reason I went down that path was that I was concerned that some of the things I was seeing I didn't necessarily like in the game. And oh, I do like the way that starts. Now we need to go left here and then right across the bridge. So welcome in if you've joined us while I was sorting all of that out. I know I saw Jason there and along with Mark and John, and if I've missed anyone else, I apologise. I'll back away from there a little bit. No, I haven't fixed the dead zone in my wheel, and so it's ridiculously large. Oh, train coming. No game sound. Okay, that's strange. It's active. Why are you not? That's very annoying. I can see that there's no game sound. Why is it not capturing it? Let's try. Try that one. Have you got sound now? That's Farm Sim 25. That's Farm Sim 25. Oh, that's 22. That's why. That one should be all right. Kill that. Really? Well, that one's got me flummoxed for the minute. It should be giving me the sound from the same window as the picture you're seeing. Indeed. Where are we there? Oops, I missed my turn, did I? Zoom out the map a little bit. Yes, I did. So my first impression, I'm sorry I can't fix the sound at the minute because I can't figure out why it's not taking that feed. My first impression is there's lots of town and decoration on the map, which makes for a good immersive feel. It just minimises the farming area a little. And so there's some decent sized fields. Why is that not working? Where am I going? Whoops. I'm going to go off the map there. I missed my turn again. Oh, can I go down there? I need to go a little bit cross country. Let's scoot around this field. So the reason I'm hoping Giant's Editor comes quickly is there's a couple of things here. Where are we? We're heading along there, and I need to go all the way to the end. That because it's not locked like a DLC map, I'm hoping I'll be able to update and sort out. So I don't mind. So it's not just me. Yes. It's a weird one. John, it gets annoying after a while. And I don't know what settings are. There's our farm right there. I've tried messing with a few settings, but I haven't been able to figure out what can do it. The way I would describe it to someone, and if it's not bugging you guys, it only happens every 20 or 30 seconds or so. But it's almost as though there's oops, what did I do there? I have not seen that, so good job. It's almost as though there's an artifact somewhere in the graphics storage that had already made the decision not to show, but as they clear it out, it in some way sort of flashes. And but apart from that, so that's the only outright technical glitch I've encountered. Everything else is fine. Now, why is that? Whoops, don't want to do that. I wish I could get that. Builder's properties. Oh, there we go. Don't know why it didn't work when I reset it the first time. Now you should have game sound. So up the top of the hill here, is the farmhouse and a barn which we should be able to open, I think. Jump back in the car. I will in a sec. So this is our place here, our spread. Sort of down to the edge of those fields. We currently haven't bought those fields. So what I was thinking, my original scenario was that, there goes that glitch again, was that we might convince the homeowner here to actually let us sort of squat down here in the sheds. Now, whether or not, I haven't sort of got the storyline that far developed. And there you go. There's the ute sounds. But what I was thinking, because I quite like the idea, and I'm sort of focusing on features that I like so far. We don't have any pens yet, so I need to do that. And so I like the fact that we can zoom out a long way and that I can adjust the angle with my center mouse button. I did get thrown for a little bit that the keyboard E and Q keys wouldn't allow me to rotate. But in the absence of that, what I was thinking was that if we went ahead and popped, why can't I pop a fence? Really? Because that's the edge of the map, I can't actually put that field there. What I was hoping, even though when I place it, I'm going to redraw the fence boundary. I suppose. Yeah, let's see if I do it that way around. Maybe that's what I got to do. So maybe I'll put you as far up there as I can. These restricted areas, I'm hoping I'll be able to do something with when I get hold of Giant's Editor. But if we put you kind of like that. Do you want to customize? Yes, I do. And now I want to bring oops, I can't zoom in any further. It's a bit hard. I can't actually get any closer because it's the edge of the so just got to sort of guess where to put the, that's not owned by us. Come on, come back. Okay, I got a little ambitious with the where it'll let me build a fence. Oh. I was hoping it would just... can I go back? No. Okay. So what we're learning is you can't, once you place a post, you've got to go all the way back to the beginning, which is not too much of a problem if I'd known that at the start. Yes. No. What? Okay, let's try that again. Yes. So there's a little bit of a wrinkle there. If you make a mistake putting your fence out, H, I didn't see that. Thank you, Mark. So let's try that again. Yes, I want to customize. Go all the way across here because that worked all right. Yeah, that's right. There is an area that's restricted. It's also complicated because we're right up at the edge of the map. Yeah, it won't let me come through the gap between that. Maybe if I toggle snapping off. There we go. Got between the trees there. Maybe I've just got to come inside these big trees. Huh. There's more restricted land up there than I thought. We'll just have, I'm just going for a funny shaped field. There we go. It's disconcerting that I can't get a little bit closer, but you get the idea. Yes, except that I didn't want cows here. Huh. Okay, that'll do. I was actually going for sheep, but that'll teach me. So if we have a look at that, so I don't mind that functionality at all. I think when we get a few more choices of buildings and decorations, it'll work really well. And if we go into animals, we'll now see, even though I did end up with cows there, we can put cows in it. That's fine. Why doesn't it tell me how many I can put in? Maybe I've got to... Okay, don't know how I turned on that mode. I have no idea what keyboard key. Took me into third person. Or at least that view. Or maybe it's X. No, C. It was C. Right, it's a camera view. What I was looking for... There's that glitch again. Was Where's that? Animal dialogue. There we go. So we can put 9 cows in here, which is probably as good a place as any to start. So let's go ahead. We don't want brown Swiss. Let's just put some Angus in, I reckon. And we're not wanting to milk them. So let's buy those. Perfect. I'm going to hit that key a lot. I might have to change that camera key binding. But there we go. We've got our cows down. Now let's have a look over here. What I was thinking was that in order to generate some income, we could utilize some of this land. So maybe I was curious to see how we'd go on this hillside here actually. So let's try that again. And let's put down another one of those, but for sheep this time. Can't place a fence here. Why can't I place a fence there? Because it doesn't like the hill? Was that the problem? It's a fussy little sucker, isn't it? What if I do it the other way? No. Sorry if I'm making her a little bit dizzy and seasick while we try and figure that out. So it won't let me put the fence. Oh, found somewhere. Where did it not mind? I just want to get the troughs down so that I can, because then I can run the fence around where I want it. That's not my land. I can put it in the center, but I wanted to cut that grass. That area is restricted. Okay, I'm going to need to... I wonder if I landscape a little bit. Can I landscape that apron? Let's go with... painting. The painting works all right. The interesting thing, I don't know if you just noticed there, it's a lot less fussed with where I'm standing than it was. So that's quite convenient, I think. Means you don't have to be quite as, I don't know if it's the same with buildings with collisions on them. Certainly the collision system, from what I've read, has changed quite dramatically. And that's going to be relevant for people converting mods. And how it will affect gameplay, I've got no idea. So let's go back there to sheep. Right, so when it's got a collision on it, it's not happy. If I can get you just to about, that's happier than it was. That'll, further down there, you'll let me go. Yes. How much of this can I? There we go. This is what I was hoping for. Whoops. Areas restricted. Weep. There we go. No. Delete last segment. Maybe I've done something wrong. There we go. Yes. Cool. So we've got a sheep pasture. Doesn't look too bad. Now somewhere over here we should get... If you're finding the help texts or the help menu a bit small, that was the size I chose. I find it good because we can have it open, but it's not there all the time and it's not entirely behind. I can probably move my head down a bit so you can see more of it. Now, where is that dialogue box? There it is. Swiss Mountain Stone Shaft Landrace. Let's go with Black Welsh Mountain Goats. And we can do 34 of those bonus. Let's buy them. G'day, Hodge One, and welcome along, sir. So as my friend from Idaho would have said, we now have a population of ranch maggots. Now we need to organise some mowing equipment so we can, they will be able to eat what they've got for the minute. I don't know how long that feed lasts. Let's have a look. We need to sort out some water, that's for sure. Let's put some water in there and see what happens. I wonder if, well, I just mentioned game settings, general settings. That's not what. No, so the GUI size is controlled in the pre-game menu. You can't actually make it bigger once you get into the game. So I'm reasonably happy with those choices because it's not too obtrusive. But we can, if you think it's too small, I can make it larger. The one that I find annoying is this bank balance, which pops up in a lot of these screens over the top of something that I'm trying to look at. Now, we need a tractor, something on the smaller side, I think. Choices, recommendations for tractors. Oh, actually, I added escape. I reckon we'll grab this guy, this puppy. That looks like about our speed. Comes in the right color. Engine setup. Let's put a bit more juice on it. Continentals I quite like. Put some weights on. And you'll do. Let's buy you. And we need a water tanker, which we're going to find down here in one of these categories. There we go. Barrels, apparently. Do we need that much water? 8,000 litres versus 6,000 litres. It's easier to tow. It is water. So let's buy one of those. Now, does anybody know where on the map we can find some water? There's the obvious river. There's a ferry down here. Well, let's go do an experiment. Let's go back. No, wrong vehicle. That's the one I want. There you go. Pleasant View Farms will be pleased with us. It is a mighty fine question, Lodge One. Oh, well, that's important, John. So, I think a couple of things. Behind the harvester shed on the main farm or the farm I purchased? Do you mean... Ah, is that what that is? No, that's manure. So the starter farm is here. I don't... Oh, I can't get it out of that stream, I'm pretty sure. But I reckon if I drive down... Where are we? Can I get down to the river over there? The short answer to your question while I'm umming and ahhing, is I break it into in Grandpa's farm. Okay, thank you. Let's just see if we can grab it down at the river here. Where is the river? It's over there. I think if you were a console FS25 player, then I think it is a significant step forward in its current form. I think there are lots of aspects of it that you'll really like and enjoy, and you've only got to have a look at the fun Mr. Sealy P's having at the minute to get a handle on that. So I think if that's your starting point, that's fine. If you're brand new to the game, there's hours of entertainment. If you're a PC player, I think it's a different proposition. I'm just exploring the water's edge here to see if I can get anywhere near it without wrecking my vehicle. Let's just duck in here. We're sort of up a bit high here, and over there looks like about the closest I'll get to the water's edge. Yeah, so my personal first impression after sort of an hour or so tootling around and having a look yesterday, I was disappointed. So I don't share the exuberance and enthusiasm of the large creators. It's, in my view, it's not a right and wrong thing. I've just got a different point of view to one that I've heard expressed so far. I think there are some good things here, and I remain hopeful. It's not looking confident that there's anywhere we can get down to the water. There is there. We could try backing into there and see what happens. I'll have a better idea when we get the editor, but it certainly feels to me like there's an expectation that the modders are going to make it the interesting proposition for do not drive too deeply into the water, right? Yeah, there you go. You can pick up water and it is free. Probably not what you'd expect at your average marina, but there is a spot there. It'd be good to put in a boat slip. Yes. You know, so when I saw the clips that were on pre-relaunch, and when I have a look at the game files, you know, and the fact that the terrain angle on these fields, you know, there's only 4 of them, which shows up if you've seen anybody trying to plant any sort of complex, any sort of crop like potatoes. And I think, you know, why would you leave it like that? So I'm still working on the principle that it's that's a fixable thing, but I don't understand as a PC player why I've got to fix it. right? Because, you know, it's things like that that make the edge of this field look less than they should. And I feel like I've had to pay the same amount for the game. Realistically, and there's that glitch again. That's just a bug of some sort. Where am I exactly? I'm there. And I want to go over there. Let's see. So how many angles did you go to, Mark? See, I want to go to 32, and I didn't want to do that until I had the editor so I could see what was going on and make sure I didn't break something else in the process, particularly given that I needed to stream. But it's good to know that you can. What I was going to do was I wanted to go there, and I want to go to start job. My big fear is that they left it so low because there are other performance consequences. But as I said, you know, they're things that I can figure out and that the community will figure out. What I don't understand is, why is it not done? It just makes no sense to me. And so the problem that creates for me, and it affects my initial impression, is that view starts to affect lots of things that you look at. So you see things where they've stopped short of, you know, really building the gameplay experience, and I don't want to be second guessing and questioning why they do that. Particularly when I've just spent, you know, $100 on a new version of the game. So it's not the end of the world. There's lots of stuff here, and that's why I preface my comments the way they do. It's not a disaster, very far from that, but it's not what I was hoping for so far. That said, I'm trying, and that's why we started the stream where we did today. I'm trying to do some things. You know, we've still got a bunch of signposts that fall down when you knock them over. I'm trying to do some things that center in on parts of the game that I want to see, and that, you know, add to our enjoyment while we wait for maps that I'll find more interesting. Let's put it that way. But as you can see, TJ does it deliberately. But as you can see, things like, so that interaction just there is a classic, right? The AI is already performing better than it was. Right, it's navigating far more successfully, and I'd have to say more realistically across the map, right? I'm not driving at all. Haven't since we put the water in the tank. So I think that's really promising, because if the bits and pieces under the covers that enable that mean that down the track there's less need for something like auto drive, that's fantastic. Right, that's really promising. So that was probably kind of a long answer to your question, but I don't think it's a simple topic. And I'm not trying to compete with all the noise from all the cheerleaders, because frankly I think some of that hype well and truly overdone. So that's tremendous, John, right? So that's a really big step forward, and part of that, that's one thing I was hoping for. Right, so he's even managed to pull in here and turn around where I want him. That's great. Can't ask for better than that. But it's also why I think this is a terrific proposition for console players in its current form, because it's got so much that's new to them. PC, not so much yet. Potential's still high. Now, one thing I did find, so might as well, where are we here? Chainsaws, select. I'll do the still because it's the one I tried yesterday, just in case it's unique to the still. Purchase it, yes. Now. That's the most anemic chainsaw I've ever used. Sounds fine while it's idling, but oh my goodness, why can't I reach that? Do I not own that tree? This is on my land, isn't it? It's got something, that's for sure. I thought it sounded like my sick version of my line trimmer. Why is that? Okay, so I can cut it that way. I don't want to cut the whole tree down. I just want to cut that branch off it. Can I not do that anymore? Huh. Oh, I can hear a baby something. That's strange. So I can't actually cut a branch off a tree. Or at least I don't appear to be able to. Also, it's like I can't run with scissors either. Those baby cows sound like killed babies. Oh, that's better. No, are you cutting that off there? Come on, champ. I got so spoilt with lumberjack. Why is that not? There we go. Okay, so we can eventually get there. It just took a little while to find somewhere that'll let me cut, and it's oh my god, it sounds ill. Why can't I trim any of that? Okay, we're not going to do that. Put that away. There we go. I do like the fact that I come with a flashlight now. If I go to that oh no, I'm going to go there. Ah, interesting. So if I turn the flashlight on while I'm in third person, it brings me back in close. Cool. So we got some water, which we... I'm sure Lockie's working on it. I also hope it comes out soon because I can't figure out how to get my mod where it loads without any errors, but it doesn't. Which one's the feed and which one's the water? But it doesn't work, so something has changed that I don't understand. Okay. Well, we successfully got some water in there. Is that full already? My lord. 1,500 litres. Seriously? That'll last about 13 seconds. That's an example of what I was just talking about a minute ago. There's no need for it to be that constrained. It's just not thinking about the gameplay. But anyway, right. So we got some water in there. At least we've got some left over to put into the cows. Yeah, the cows need some as well. So let's go around there. Yes, so I'm hoping if this mod comes out pretty quickly, I'll be able to have a quick squiz. No worries, John. What sort of car are you buying, just quickly? You're going to do a quick lap of Scotland on the way home from the yard to just run it in? Yeah, see, I was able to put 4,500 litres in there. Ah, good little town runabout. Has it got the twin fluffy dice and a big spoiler and spinners and a boot full of subwoofer? Bit of neon, something that'll impress the ladies down at the bingo hall is what I'm thinking. Right, so they've got some water. No, he says, no. You don't want a minute to think about it. And it's in, like day glow green or bright purple with a matte black hood. What do we got here? So how do I know? It's got meadow grass. Gray. How do I know? Maybe we'll just leave them go. But aren't they supposed to be able to eat that grass? Isn't that the whole idea? Hello. Grey, very good. That sounds like way too sensible though. That's the only problem. One thing I did like is someone had been paying attention on gates, and so most of the gates I've seen on the place around the place actually open a sensible distance. So that was a good thing. Now we should decide what crops do we want to do. We've got some cows in. Ultimately, my plan was that we'll buy the fabric place in town. What crop should we do? I mean, it kind of makes sense, I guess, to take this field on up here. It's not very large. We've still got a bit of cash there. Let's go and see. Let's grab a harvester. I'm lost already. Where have the harvesters gone? Oh, there we go. Combine harvesters. Given we've only got a little field and a small amount of money, what's the capacity here? 8,000 litres. 100,000 for an extra 600 litres doesn't seem like a particularly good deal. So I reckon, is it? Oh, and I do have the gold edition. Oh. I didn't think I originally got that, but obviously something happened and it downloaded to me. I reckon we give this guy a whirl. I reckon he looks pretty good. Let's do that. Let's take Conti's. Buy that one. And we're going to need combinations. We're going to need one of those. Yes. As you can see, my perception on the menus at the minute is there's lots of keystrokes to get stuff done, but at least you can find it. So it's kind of a wash. Is it better or worse? I feel like a lot of screen real estate is taken up with nonsense, but this might change. My view of this might change when we get some of the mods and they start to use this space in different and interesting ways. So I see potential, I guess. Did I buy that in the end? No, is the short answer to that question. Grain headers, that was the one I wanted. Yes, let's try buying you. Yes. Okay. Now let's, have you got a hitch? You do. This looks pretty good. Yep, locked on, good to go. Oh, try not to wipe the mirrors off on the side of your new header. And let's... What was it, Shift H or Control H? Hold H. That's the vehicle. Ah. Ah, so I can't get the harvester to drive across the map. So I can't actually get a worker to deliver the harvester. That's a shame. Never mind, we will drive it home then. So basically we're waiting for follow me, because then I could get the follow me drive. Oh, maybe follow me is going to be a problem. Follow me is going to need to write a whole bunch of code, because it relied on a lot of the hooks in the standard worker. Interesting. So the question that I started to ask before, what other goals should we have on this map? We've got a couple of animals sort of happening. What did you guys think would be a fair way to exercise the capability this early on in the lifespan? Now, is this... yeah, that's where I want to go. Actually, while we're here, is there a contract available on that field by any chance? Seeing we're right here beside it. Field 16, harvesting. Field 16 doesn't pay very much, but that'll do. Let's accept that contract. No need to drive all the way back to our field when we can pick up a couple of grand on the way past. Get that line up a bit better. There's that glitch again, give us a bit of a flash. It's better. And we're harvesting. We can jump in cabin. Looks all right. Pretty neat and tidy. Whoop, turn. Oh, a bit of lag. What's our frame rate doing there? Yep, so it's what I would expect. So it's pretty hard on 60. I don't bother to run higher than 60 because from a, particularly while I'm streaming, it doesn't actually, just wastes cycles and generates heat, and the eye can't see much of a difference anyway. We don't need that up there. Oh, there we go. Oh, now, one thing I remembered I was going to show you folks. Oh, bit of a view problem as we come down the hill. I can't duck to see under the rake on the cabin. Now we could just AI worker going to do here. I've turned the AI worker on for a minute. I'll get out of the way. See what she does. So what I was going to have a look at, will face in that direction. Now if I turn on the console, so most of you would be familiar with the log, right? So that hasn't changed. Yes. What's interesting is they've got a predictive aspect. And so there were always the ability on this command line to enter 20 to 30, I'm going to say, commands. Well, now there's heaps more, but in particular, the one that caught my attention was the ability to set fog. And one thing that it certainly didn't do before, so you can see I've done the commands there, but it's now giving you a hint as the different parameters that you can provide. So if we want to turn fog on, we can enable it. And I'm guessing now, but what those parameters mean from left to right is, so enable it's going to be true or false, or on or off, but giants typically go with true or false. coverage edge 0 is going to be some coordinates that represent probably the diagonal corners of the box you want the fog to apply to, how dense it is, how high it is, how high off the ground it is. So not that we're going to play around with that today, but I just thought it was interesting because you know, there was sort of a lot of different views about the fog effects beforehand, and some felt that it was overdone in the preview videos. What I like about this is that puts a lot of that set of parameters puts a lot of controls in the hands of the modder to make some really interesting effects using just the fog mechanic. And so, whilst, you know, there's not necessarily anything other than fog you can do with that today, but there's not a big difference between fog and smoke, for instance. You could imagine a clever modder doing all sorts of things, and when you get the sense that there's a whole lot of other... I'm just trying to remember what the command was. No... gonna have to, it's gonna scroll a heap off the screen here. Right, there you go. So we go back up, these are all the commands, and I'm only looking for one because I'm just curious to see what it does, if I can find it quickly. Lots of it's technical gumph, but there are a couple of interesting ones. There's the fog ones that set height, fog, right? So set fog, max height, ground fog, winds velocity. There's all sorts of parameters in here. Now, what I'm looking for, hoping, shadows. You can change how fast the clouds move, of course. Color grading, textures. You can actually just straight quit just by typing quit into the command line. That's the same as 25. Toggle the wildlife, spawn. Where is it? There we go. Weather twister spawn. So that's what I was looking for. If we yes, weather twister spawn. Commands the weather. So there you go. That's how you get a twister. Now my suspicion is there are other commands in there that I haven't messed with that'll allow me to turn it off and or move it. But as you can see, the twister also brings rain. But for now, we'll just, and because it's raining on the edge of the field, my harvester has stopped. I thought it was going to move away from me, but it looks like it's just going to sit there for an extended period. So probably should grab a screenshot while we can. But if you want to have your own twister, that's the way to do it. You can see the puddles come pretty quick. Yeah. Oh. Wrong key. Go back. It's a noisy sucker. And what I was just wondering if I can figure it out. Let's go. Like all good kids, I didn't figure out how to turn it off before I started it. It was with, what other twister commands did we get? With reload. Let's try that. Ah, victory. So there you go, a little bit of an experiment. I haven't watched a lot of other people's streams, so I don't know if anybody else has shown you how to create a twister, but that gives you an idea of the basics. And I guess my my message would be there's an awful lot more commands in that list than we've had access to directly before, and therefore you can expect over time creative modders will do lots of things with that. And because there are commands in there, that might open the way for why are you not running? Shouldn't you be? There we go. That's interesting. Why is there a... Huh. I wasn't... Are they weeds or is that... Yeah. Or is that just... Strange. Must be weeds. Let's go and get a trailer. And we need another tractor. No, we don't. We'll just send our existing tractor. Trailers, trailer. Oh, excuse me. Trailers. What's a good size trailer for us? Anybody got any trailer recommendations? What's the Bergman worth? That's no good for us. Rudolph's not a bad choice. Yeah, the Rudy will be good. Let's get one of those. Yep. Cover color. Let's go with red. Let's buy that. Okay. So I'll just come back over here. Leave the water there. Why'd you do that? Do I have to be on the road before you'll let me go and do that? No. That's what I want. Go to the shop and pick our trailer up. Excellent. And with that, I'm going to stop just a few minutes early. I'm just, the reason I didn't stream the last two, so whoops, he's gone and got, let's see if he can get himself out of that. Not looking promising. Spoke too soon on the cleverness of the AI. Anyway, yeah, I missed Monday and last Thursday's stream because I had a flare of my arthritis, and it's just a little bit difficult to sit here at the desk. So I'm going to stop a couple of minutes early, but I will be back, all being well, on Monday, and we can carry on from where we're up to. If you've got particular things that you're keen to see or a direction you want our farm here to develop, please let me know. Until then, thank you very much for watching, and stay safe, have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.